Looks like we're good. Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another MLB The Show 23 stream here on Twitch. I'm NextJGGen24, and yes, I'm continuing the progress in the Extreme program. The moments were not enough to be able to deter me. So, but that doesn't mean I'm going to take another swipe at him today. Quite the contrary. I'm sorry. It might be easy. It might be easier for me to do it that way and at least get Ketel Marte, but not what we're doing. What we're doing today is we're taking on the Conquest Map. So as you can see by the Conquest Map, you have all 30 team strongholds here, and not only that, but you also have turn limits. So in order to get the whole map done, you gotta do it in these, or if you want to get progress for the Extreme program, you have to complete all these goals. So what that means is first turn has to be all the AL West, NL West teams. Colorado, San Diego, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and Arizona. Los Angeles Dodgers, by the way. So you got to do that. Then before, on or before the third turn, you have to conquer the Braves. So why is this not moving for me? Weird. Okay, so the Braves are all the way over here. Very good. Then we need to go conquer there's no turn limit on this, but just keep in mind this turn limit, which is by the 6th turn. So you need to get the Brave stronghold by the 3rd turn, and you need to complete all these strongholds by the 6th turn. So while the Twins won, while that may seem simple, believe me, it's not. It's not. There is an added catch to it. So, without further, and to make it even harder, you only get 12 million fans, and you gotta go up against the Rockies with 31, the Padres with 26, the Giants with 21, and the Dodgers with 16. Keep in mind that you lose 1 million fans as you go along. Oh, and Arizona at 11. So, assuming that the math is right on this would be at 11, then 10, 9, 8, 7. That's all in the first turn. So, in other words, what I'm saying is that these games are, there's a reason that this map seems extreme, or why this is an extreme map. It's not because of the size of the map itself. It's the fact that you don't have a lot of fans, and you got to be able to conquer these strongholds while playing on Hall of Fame or Legend difficulty. So that is why there's the reason for this. But hey, if you don't pull your hair out and manage to complete this entire thing, then good on you, because you get 25 program stars towards the Extreme program. And like where you saw with me, I was at 11, so not only would that get me Ketel Marte, it would also get me Billy Wagner, which is very good. So, as you can see, gotta play on Hall of Fame, gotta do it. Now, the good news is that the Rockies, they are not the hardest team to go up against. They're not. You know, obviously what's difficult about the Rockies is the fact that you're playing at Coors Field. So one mistake pitch, and it's gone. So you have to be pretty darn accurate, not only with your location, but you also have to be pretty darn accurate with how with your accuracy too. Well, yeah, that's what I just said. Anyway, so we're gonna get this started. Don't let the Rockies fool you. All it takes is one pitch. All it takes is one pitch for it to get out of here, and the Rockies are in this. But here's the other good news about this. You're playing on Hall of Fame. And you're like, how is that good news? It's good news because you're also working on your multiplier too. So, or you're working on XP. You know, Conquest is only going to get you 1 XP. But by playing on Hall of Fame, you're getting 1.4. If you average that out, that's 1.2 XP multiplier for yourself. Which is good for your player, and not only for your players, but if you're working on the XP mission for the Extreme program as well, this is a good way to do it. Oh, Jacob Wilson, come on. So, I highly recommend you take your best lineup and you go and you do this map. Oh, hold on. We got a trade alert. Uh-oh. The Mark Canha is gone. The Brewers are acquiring Mark Canha for right-handed pitching prospect, Justin Jarvis. I'm sorry, I saw that trade alert from ESPN, and I was like, okay, got to read that, because there's only one reason I would, well, there's a couple reasons that I would get a trade alert from the MLB. It either has to involve the Mets, or it's got to be one of the biggest trades that are out there. And speaking of trades, I know you guys saw over the weekend, the Mets are sending Max Scherzer to Texas for Ronald Acuna Jr.'s younger brother and infielding prospect, Luis Angel Acuna. Fortunately, blew that opportunity right there, but... right. Are they even gonna... They're gonna let me play with it on. Okay. So, I did see that, and... ultimately, I personally think when he said he wanted to talk to brass, i.e. the front office, about the trade with Robertson, I think that's when he said, I want to be traded. Because you have to understand, that trade happened so quickly. Like, and so soon after he requested it. He clearly did not want to be on the Mets anymore. And unfortunately, I think he's going to look back on his time with the Mets, strike 3, sit down, and say that it was horrible and that he honestly wants to forget it. And I don't blame him. You know? I don't blame him. He was solid, but, like, towards the end, he just wasn't performing like we needed him to. But I think he could read the writing on the wall that the Mets were selling, that they aren't competing, they got to rebuild their farm system, and he just doesn't want to be a part of that. Strike 3, sit down. And honestly, I don't think Justin Verlander doesn't want to be part of it either. I get it. These guys are top-level pitchers, and they want to play on competitive teams. I get that. And, you know, the Mets, on paper, should have been a competitive team. Why this year they were not competitive, I can't explain. I really can't. Because on paper, this was the same lineup as last year. Minus Brian McCann. Woo! Wyatt Langford with the shot! Damn! Alright, we've got, lefty, so, What do you think, Taylor? What? I think Billy Wagner personally. We'll get them both up because who knows? Who knows, honestly? Perfect home run. Very nice. Anyway, what was I saying before? Yeah, this team, on minus Brian McCann, this team was the same as last year. Well, actually, no. That's inaccurate because last year we had DeGrom, we had Bassett, we had Taijuan Walker. This year we had Scherzer, Verlander, Senga, Carrasco, and then it was flip-flopping between Peterson and McGill. So I guess the starting pitching was not the same. And honestly, maybe that's the reason for our downfall. I think it's also the inconsistency that led to the Mets' troubles. I mean, you think about it, the Mets, if it wasn't the batting, it was the pitching. Like one day the pitching could be absolutely stellar, but yet the offense doesn't get going. The next day, the offense could score like 4 runs, but the starting pitchers give up like 5. Oh, what a play! What a play by Wilson.
The second baseman, Ryan McMahon.
0-1's the count.
It was inconsistency that ultimately led to the Mets' downfall. And I think they should be selling like they are right now. The issue is that, okay, they traded away Canna. Okay, now there's talks that they're trading Pham away as well. Here's the issue with that. If they trade away Pham too, who's going to be outfield with Nimmo? Because right now the only anchor in the outfield is Nimmo. I mean, if you're going to tell me that DJ Stewart is your guy, I'm sorry, I don't buy that. And there was an outfielding prospect that the Mets have. I think he's with the Brooklyn Cyclones. They've been giving him a lot of attention. But he's not ready. He's high A. Strike 3, sit down. He's high A. So I don't see him being the guy, I don't see him up in the majors this year. It's too soon. And too much of a gap between talent, too. So I'm not relying on him. Tim LaCastro, great. You know, and the same thing with the pitching, too. We traded away Scherzer. Okay, so now we're putting ourselves in a position where we don't have a choice but to put both McGill and Peterson in the lineup. Or in the rotation, I'm sorry. And what happens if we trade Verlander? Who are we going to put in then? So, I'm all for the Mets selling, but I want them to be smart sellers. Not just trade away just because they can. I know I feel at this point I feel like they are mailing it in on this season, and that's fine. But you also need to keep up some kind of a rotation in the majors. You can't just go with 4 starting pitchers. Not unless you're going to limit them to 80 pitches. But even then, I don't think I don't think that would benefit Verlander or Senga or Peterson or Miguel. Oh, Carrasco too. We have Carrasco. Yeah, I forgot about Carrasco. Although I kind of hope that the Rays were still interested in him, but honestly, I think at this point they're like, nah, I think we're good. Again, I don't blame them. Just would have hoped they would have kept up the interest. Oh no. Alright, eat it, eat it, eat it. That sucks. And I'm going to tell you what, that's probably what cost us the game here. Diaz had just let it go up the middle. It would have been a ground ball out that could have ended the game. He may have his brother's last name, but I wish he would have his baseball IQ at times. Try? No. Alright. Damn it. See, I knew that was going to come back to bite me in the ass. And there it is. Yep. Wyatt Longford gets the home run for us, but unfortunately we lost. We lost because of Diaz. And look at that. So I guess that's the other thing too that we gotta be careful of. So if you lose one, you can't lose, because otherwise you're gonna go all the way back to the beginning, or even worse, you're gonna lose your territory. So that's why it's important not to lose. Like I said, don't ever underestimate the Rockies. Just because you're playing them does not mean they're not a quality team. Any team is difficult on Hall of Fame, especially if you're not used to playing it like I am. So. Anyway, again, I want the Mets to be sellers, but I want them to be smart. You know, the important thing is not to leave yourself in a position where you have nothing at the major leagues. Prospects are great, but you're going to have to develop them. You know, Acuna is still like a year or two away from being up in the majors. I'm sorry to say, but he's not there yet. That's also an indication to me that the Mets really want to move McNeil to the outfield, which may ultimately happen. That may ultimately be the case. If you're going to resolve the outfield problem. I don't know when Marte is coming up or coming back. Honestly, do we? If he wasn't hurt, I think the Mets would be trying to do everything they can to sell him or to get him on another team. There was, ESPN was floating around the idea that the Mets send one of their outfielders to the Yankees. Like, one of the, probably the first ever, the first ever blockbuster trade between the Mets and Yankees. And I wasn't opposed, I never opposed the idea. If Pham, because we know Canna's gone at this point, but if Pham can find success, just as much success with the Yankees as he can the Mets, then why hold him back? Strike 3, sit down. Mets are not competing this year anyway, so I wouldn't be opposed to it. Just depends on what the Yankees are willing to give up. So I guess we'll see. Alright, Billy Wagner once again. He did well that last game. It just sucks that D-Dot blew it. Woo! Jorge Soler! God damn! I love when I get home runs like that. Mainly because this is Hall of Fame. You have to remember, like, I don't play the... I don't even... I've never played on Hall of Fame before other than doing the extreme moments. That's it. So, yeah, I'm going to be excited when I hit a home run because I don't... hitting a home run on the Hall of Fame is not exactly easy. So we'll see what happens with. There's still one more day. The trade deadline is actually not July 31st this year. It's August 1st, which I think is interesting. It can't be because of the. It can't be because of the lockout. That was last year. Let me see. Oh, yeah. So I should probably explain what happened. So as you guys, if you guys weren't here on Friday, what, I had pretty much assured that I was going to be playing, or I was going to be streaming on Friday. I was going to be doing this, or not on Friday, but on Saturday. Because I was under the assumption that I wasn't going to get called in, and I was also under the assumption that even if I did, it wouldn't be for 2 shifts. It would be for 1, and at the very least, on Sunday, I could, do something. Well, that's not what happened, because ultimately, my workplace we have this one guy that he didn't even show up 2 days in a row. 2 days in a row, this guy didn't even show up. And then, he's constantly, he's constantly calling out sick. And from what I can gather from my coworkers who've worked with him, they say that at times he would be gone for like a good amount of time. Ultimately, what I'm saying is that this guy is not a good employee. He's not. Or at least he's not a good employee with us. But, at the very least, have the decency to be able to call and say, I'm not coming in, or if you don't want to be here, then just say to management, hey, I don't want to be here. I get that you need money, but so does everyone. And this is not exactly a good look. Not coming in at all when you're supposed to be on the schedule 2 days in a row. Already has the reputation of calling out like hours before his shift starts. This is creating a bad reputation for him. I don't know why he would want this reputation Because if he tries to put our company on his resume, I'm sure his future or anywhere he goes to is going to call and say, hey, we want to know more about this guy. And they're going to give him a bad review. They're going to say, no, this guy is terrible. For the reasons that I had already explained. So, you know, I don't know why he would do this. But he's doing it, and honestly, like, he's going to be gone soon. I can already tell you that. He's going to be gone from the whispers that I've heard. He's just gone. Which is good, because that means that we can get the schedule straightened out, and we don't have to try and get someone like me to pull double shifts, which is what I had to do on Saturday. I had to work not only a 2:30 to 10:30 shift, but I also had to work a 10:30 to 6:30 shift. 16 hours. Let me tell you what that. You want to know what that's like? It messes with your mind. I would not wish it upon my worst enemy. I would not. But that's what I had to do, because they had one employee pull the double shift on Friday, and they were supposed to work on Saturday. So now they had to be taken off of Saturday, and I had to fill in. You know, and basically do 2 shifts. It messes with your mind. So, you know, the most I recommend anyone working is 12-hour shifts. That's it. And that should be like once in a blue moon. Don't even like exhaust yourself doing those every single week. Do not. It is not good for you mentally. So, but either way, this guy didn't even bother showing up, which we figured was going to happen because he didn't show up on Friday. So they called me and said, "Can you work the double?" I worked the double, and I was exhausted. I was exhausted. Oh, am I gonna be able to do this? Oh no. Wow, I can steal base on Hall of Fame. How about that? So that is ultimately why I did not stream on Saturday, because I was working, and I did not stream on Sunday because I pretty much fell asleep and didn't wake up until the late night hours. So I do apologize about that, but unfortunately work is a priority for me. Yes, this is not me streaming on Twitch. This is not my full-time job. Believe me, if it was, I'd be poor as hell.
That's in, ball 2.
But this is more of just something that I do for streaming, or for just for fun. Like, I don't do it for the money. I appreciate the money. If anyone wants to subscribe or, you know, donate or whatever, then I'm all for that, and I appreciate that. But that said, it is not a necessity. Okay, I'm not gonna sit here on stream and beg and plead for people to give me money. No. This is merely something that I'm doing as a hobby because I love the game, and I love talking about it, and I love playing with others who, you know, share my love for this game. All right? So I want that to be clear. Whoa! Charge the mound! Charge it! Son of a gun! Alright, Jorge Soler got the home run for us before. So what can he do here?
That's outside.
All right.
That's ball 3. Ball 4. First base.
All right, I'll take that walk. Throw it in the strike zone and I'll swing. Or just throw it close enough and I'll swing. Oh, did I start there? My bad.
Nope, that's down.
Wow, man, that was close. I don't know how I laid off of that one.
What do you got?
Pierce Johnson just needs to, like, throw it in the zone. He wants me to get out, right? They need one out to... Well, very nice. So now that's 3. That is 3 runs. That should be enough. I pray to God that it's enough. But I'll give Diaz another... Well, actually, maybe... I'll just warm him up in case Bednar just gets into a bit of trouble. Because that's what I should have done with Diaz the last time. I should have had another pitcher warming up in case he got into trouble like he did. So that's on me for not being smart, really. But I'm not going to make that mistake again. Bednar is going to come in, assuming that Diaz is not ready. And if he gets into trouble, then we'll bring in Diaz. All right, let's see. Is Diaz ready? He is not. So, Bednar, come on now. Come on down. I also have to get used to the fact that Meter is much quicker on Hall of Fame, so...
2 balls, 1 strike. 2-2 now.
Strike 3, sit down. Attaboy, Bednar. That was borderline. That should have been a strike.
Did he go?
Yes, sir.
Ball 2.
Uh-oh. Here we go. This is where the trouble starts. But this is why it's important to have more than 1 run on Hall of Fame. Because you never know.
That's a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Strike 3, sit down. Attaboy, Bednar.
Ball, that's off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Woo.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Come on, get there, Soler. Get there, get there. Yeah! All right. Woo! Close one for sure. Thanks to Soler for the home run, and then Wyatt Langford drove in 2 runs. But really, Soler's home run would have been enough. Still, it's good to have that insurance. Alright, we are not done. That is only 1. That is only 1. We got 29 to go, more to go. How am I even still playing on Hall of Fame? I'm going to go with Shohei. Of course, I'm going to go up against Darvish. Well, no one said it was going to be easy. So. Woo, watch out. Come on, get over that fence. Get over it. Get over it. Dang! You think if I had pulled it a little bit more, you think that would have been a home run? I didn't even, what up, Marcus? How you doing? Oh, shoot. Yeah, I'll let that one go. Extreme Conquest. I just beat the Rockies, now I'm on the Padres. And we're playing on Hall of Fame, because we love to torture ourselves.
Oh, that's out.
Yep. How you doing today? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Frick, you're telling me. I only got 1 down. There's 29 more to go. Come on, Peterson. You can beat that. Let's go. I mean, what I probably should just aim. Let's see how it goes. On top of it.
Yeah, you're out.
All right.
Leading up for the Padres.
All right. Do whatever. You know, it's look. Even if you're not going to do the moments or the conquest map or the showdown, you're still going to earn XP towards the program just by playing the game. So you may not realize it. Okay, yeah, mini seasons is fine. That may actually be a quicker way to do it. But I'm not opting for that yet. I want to try my luck first.
He's going.
Uh-oh. Got him. Dang it. Gotta get that more down. Maybe he would have had him. Ooh, I left that slurve right over the middle. I'm very shocked that Fernando Tatis Jr. did not drive that. Although if I walk him, it's not the end of the world. I would have loved it if I had gotten him out. Who's up next? It would be Machado. Yeah, walk Soto. I'm not even going to deal. I am not dealing with Soto. I'd rather deal with Machado. May come back to bite me in the ass, but you know what? That's lefty. That's a lefty matchup that I just don't want to get into. Got him. All right. So we have lefty, righty, lefty. All right, then Billy Wagner again. Do him. I mean, with mini seasons, you could play on any difficulty, really. You could be on rookie, veteran. I mean, what makes it tough is that it's all 99 overall teams. Straight there. Hold on, let me turn this a little bit more. There we go. So but again, I'm not there yet. Like first I want to try my luck with the Conquest Map, and then I'll worry about mini seasons at some point, or the showdown, even though I'm begging to God that I never have to do that, because it's facing freaking Randy Johnson. Like, I don't want to do that. Don't want to cry. Uh-oh. Alright, I better keep my eye on first over there.
What you got?
Yes, sir.
That's the ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ball 2.
Come on, Wagner. I need you to get the control under control.
You got a full count. First base.
God damn it.
Ball 2 is the count. Ball inside.
I realize that Wagner is getting tired. So you know what? Maybe it would be good to get a righty up and warming. So unless this is going to be a double play here, I don't see Billy finishing this out. Strike 3, sit down. All right. Quick little mound visit. Get Brock Stewart all ready. Because I'm not giving Xander Bogaerts an opportunity. If he gets it, then, you know, whatever. I can only just tip my cap on that one.
1 ball, 2 strikes. That's ball 2.
There we go. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Your attention, please. Now pitching for the Padres, number 50, Adrian Morejon.
That's a ball.
That's fine. Just slash. It was middle in, gonna be hard to turn on. Don't catch that. God! Man, that was such a great hit. How... Not enough. Not enough. Huh. I kind of wish that would have bounced off the wall there. Ah, my bad. I made it too easy. I know I did.
No ball, 2 strikes. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nope.
Yes, sir. Strike 3, sit down. Keep it up, Stewart.
0-1 for count.
Unfortunately, I think if anyone, Juan Soto is going to be the guy that ends it.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
As long as Brock can, well, he'll end regulation. Now we got to go into extra innings.
Your attention, please.
So we got righty, lefty, righty. All right, we'll warm up Santos. I don't know why Santos has not really been that reliable in terms of clutch. See, now that is such a great hit. How it's squared up too. So how the hell does that equal a freaking line out or fly out to center? There we go. Attaboy, Jock. It's not enough. It's not enough.
Ball 1.
Not enough at all.
Nope, upstairs. That's ball 3.
Nah. That's gonna get caught, so just go back. Damn, look at the dot on that throw. That was... I mean, yeah, it was only from right center to second, which isn't exactly the longest distance in the world. But still, that was pinpoint accurate. I was like, God damn, didn't even need a hop or anything, just right at the second baseman. So if I had tried to advance, it would have been a disaster.
Ball. One ball, two strikes.
Usually Sanchez doesn't have that kind of defense. Alright, well, you know I'm gonna send him. 3-2 count. 2 outs, yeah. Alright, well, 1 run is what we've got, so... Oh, shoot. That means I gotta rely on Santos to get the save. Oh, boy. Well, that's on me for not warming up another pitcher, so keep the ghost runner rule. Alright. 2 outs. I wish I had gotten that a lot sooner. But I'm at where I'm at now. Dang it! Could have used that strikeout.
That's ball, dude.
Strike 3, sit down. Alright, so we survive another inning. Thank goodness. Alright, we have lefty, righty, righty, so we get Bednar up and warming. Hopefully, hopefully with another run in. But that's why I say you need more than just the ghost runner on. You need more than just the ghost runner. You need more runs. I mean, I feel like 3 should be the most desirable if you're going to play on Hall of Famer legend. Unless you're really good and you can get the you could get the save with just 1 run, but I'm not that good. Whoa! Charge the mound! Charge it! Son of a gun. I mean, he loaded the bases for us, which is really nice. This is why it's also important to have a pretty darn good bullpen. There we go. Yes! Go home. You're scoring. Let's go. Taking San Diego down. And their horrible bullpen. I'm surprised they're not making any moves to bolster their bullpen. You know, you're just going to run with Josh Hader? Okay. Go advance. Yes.
Nope, that's the ball.
I mean, I feel like out of all the NL West teams that we're going to have to go up against, I feel like the Dodgers is probably going to be the toughest. Not only do I feel like that's... obviously, the Dodgers are a great team all around. Not only that, but I have a feeling that that game is going to be on Legend. So that's going to make it even tougher. I was not hoping for that, but you know, we got 3 runs. Might be okay. We might be. I'd be even more okay if we had 4 runs, but we'll see what Wilson can do here.
Ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
All right. Come on, Wilson. Continue to be patient and get ready for your pitch. Oh, that was it, but unfortunately, yeah. All right, so we're walking in with 3 runs.
Your attention, please. Now pitching. David.
And keep in mind, guys, this is only this is only the second team in this Conquest Map. This is only team number 2. Still got 28 more to go after this. You know what? I'm also going to warm up Diaz. Just in case.
One ball, 2 strikes.
Strike 3, sit down. Attaboy, Bednar. Oh, no. Well, should I risk it? Should I bring in... Nah. I won't bring him in. If Bednar loses the game, he loses it.
That's a ball.
Strike 3, sit down. See, I have confidence in my relief pitcher. Whew. Took us extras, but we got it. Man, god damn. Still on Hall of Fame against the Giants. Wow. Yeah, give me Gallen. Alright, looks like we're going up against Logan Webb.
Count 1-0. He's good.
Yes! Let's go! Thank you for that arrow, Estrada. I'm pretty sure that's Estrada that made that error.
Got him.
Hey, gotta get runs somehow. If I can avoid the double play in the process, I'm all for that.
0-2 is the count. Ball 1. Oh, that's off the plate. He's out.
Yeah, look, I'm not gonna risk losing a runner in scoring position just to advance.
Off the plate, ball 1. Two balls, no strike. Hey.
I mean, I was looking, not specifically that pitch, but that location, that's what I was looking for. Peterson! Let's go! A 2-run shot. Beautiful. Barely got over the wall, but I'll take it.
That's a ball.
Ah,
1-1.
slider middle up. That's begging to be hit a long way. God damn.
Hey. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That's going to be enough for a double, I think. Maybe. Yes.
Hey. 0-1's the count. Nope. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Oh, and by the way, I did, you may have noticed some chicken and Pete's crab fries. Okay. Alright, well, enjoy it. I got a 2-run shot with Jock Peterson just a while ago. So I'm hoping that I can add on here.
0-1.
Having London broil for dinner tonight, so that should be good.
Ball back outside.
And actually, I can smell it cooking right now. Okay, well, right now I don't really have any plans to go to Citizens Bank, but I'll definitely keep it in mind. I'll keep it in mind when I do get there, because I can assure you, I definitely want to go. It's just a matter of figuring out logistics and everything, like how I'm gonna get there. You know, where am I gonna stay? I have family down in South Jersey that I can stay with. Okay, well, I'll have to check it out myself. Like I said, for me personally, if I'm gonna go to a ballpark, I don't want to just go there just to watch a game. I want to experience everything about it. Like maybe a Hall of Fame that's there, because I'm sure the Phillies have to have one. Strike three, sit down. The food that you were mentioning, Pete's crab fries and the chicken as well. Or Darian was talking about chicken sandwiches outside the stadium and everything. So, strike three, sit down. Okay, we got lefty, righty. Okay, we're going righty. We're going to set up maybe Sabors, Josh Sabors. I usually rely on him being my setup righty out of the pen.
That's a ball.
That was a ball? Dang. I got lucky.
Ball 2. 2-1. Two balls, 2 strikes.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's the one Darian was mentioning. I think his father owns it. He mentioned. I mean, I obviously like I need to take that information and just bear that in mind. But still, like, I don't think Darian would lie to me just so I can line his father's pockets.
2 balls, no strike.
His father's got enough money. Got the big chunk from being an elite guy for the Phillies. Obviously, the fact that he won MVP and then won the World Series helps too. Well, that was a very unproductive inning. All right, Sabors, you're up. Get there, Diaz. Get there. Ah, man. Not quick enough. I mean, and that's what I was afraid of. That's why I hate when they say throw inside with the slider. Yeah, throw inside and watch me nail him. He's so wet. Ah, oh wow, what a hell of a throw. Get there, Wilson. Get there, and go through that bull. Nice. All right. Whew. Oh, it was actually Lamont Wade Jr. who played second. Okay. Or who plays second for the 49ers. Or not the 49ers, the Giants. Wrong sport. I told you guys, I'm already on to frickin' football season. I'm done with baseball. I'm ready for football to start. hopefully my Jets can do much better than the Mets can, but I guess we'll see. Yep, I'm a Mets, Jets, Nets, and Devils fan. Devils is self-explanatory. I grew up in Jersey, so... Although I also could have been a New York Rangers fan or an Islanders fan, but... Yep. Yep, I'm done. I'm like the Mets right now. I'm done. It's all good. I had a great time this season that I went. I mean, after all, I got to meet three 86 World Series Mets players in Mookie Wilson, Roger McDowell, and Howard Johnson. I also got to meet Todd Zeile, a former Mets player as well. You know, I had a great time this season, despite their lack of success this season. I had a great time. Jock Peterson just going deep again. I'm telling you guys, if you don't have this Jock Peterson card, you should get it. How old is Ryan Howard's son? Darian? That's a good question. I don't know off the top of my head, but I'm sure Wikipedia or Baseball Reference might be able to tell you. Let's see. Ryan Howard's son, Darian.
Leading up for the Giants, the shortstop, Wilmer Flores.
I know that he's definitely of college age because he goes to LSU.
0-1.
Or, well, at the very least he went to LSU.
What do you got?
Yeah, so he's like young 20s, I would say. He's either 21 or 22, one of those ages. But again, I'm guessing at that point. I never really thought to ask him his age because, well, I figured I would guess it anyway. But also, you know, like, I feel like that's personal. If he wanted to tell me, he would have told me already. But it just makes me feel old. Because I remember watching Ryan Howard when he was on the Phillies. Now here I am talking to his son. Or here, you know, talking to his son and everything, so... Like, don't get me wrong, I've always respected Ryan Howard. And not because of Darian, but because I always knew how good he was. Like, you really have to be... You really either have to hate the Phillies so much you refuse to recognize their talent in the mid-2000s. But I don't feel like that's fair that Ryan Howard was a terrible player. No. The dude hit over 50 home runs in one season. And I think that's been the closest that anyone has come to Mark McGwire's record in the National League. Not in real life. I mean, my family that lives down in South Jersey, they're they're Phillies fans, so but they're not toxic. No, I wouldn't say I have a toxic a Philly fan in my life. Although if a Philly fan wants to give me a reason, I don't need much. Alright, I mean, the Dodgers rotation is just lethal. It's lethal. I don't know. In your chat? Nah, I wouldn't say so. I just don't know how much confidence I have in Bello. That's the thing. I have a lot of confidence. But then again, he's got a 99. Maybe I will go with Bello. I just saw that, and I didn't realize that Ohtani's home run and strikeouts were rather low. Ah, that's my bad. Hold on. That's something. Oh. Well, Supercharged fan vote goes to Bobby Witt Jr. No surprise, honestly. People recognize his name. I thought a lot of people would have gone with Nathaniel Lowe, since he was the lowest rated out of all the guys that were up for a vote. Whatever. Congrats to Bobby Witt Jr. then. No, but seriously, Ryan Howard was just like a beast of a player, and always a Mets killer. Oh, I definitely want to go to Camden Yards. It's just, again, that comes along with, you know, do I have the logistics of it? It comes down to the logistics. Like, see, at least with Philly, I have somewhere close to stay that's inexpensive, if at all. But going to Baltimore, that's where I'm going to have to figure out a lot of things. Like, you know, hotel, because I don't have family down there. I don't have family, so it's not like I can, and I have to figure that stuff out on my own. But if I'm gonna do all, or if I'm gonna do Camden Yards, I'm gonna do it with Citizens Bank Ballpark, and I'm gonna do it with Nationals Park 2. So there has to be a time where all three teams, the Orioles, the Phillies, and the Nationals, are home at the same time. And that's where the stars are going to have to align. Not saying it's impossible, but I would have to figure that out. Ah, dang it. Believe me, I'll make my way along the East Coast. I will. Trust me. But I just got to figure out the perfect time. And honestly, I don't think this season it's going to happen. It's just, I would need to take time off of work, and doing it in August. If you were here in the beginning of the stream, I was talking about one coworker who's basically leaving us short. So he's already making it hard enough, during August when a lot of my coworkers decide to take off. So taking off now just wouldn't be good. It wouldn't be done.
The right fielder,
And obviously baseball season is going to come to an end in, end of September, beginning of October. So if anything, it might happen next year. Well, Layla, here's the thing. He wasn't happy about Peterson. He wasn't happy about David Robertson being traded. And if anything, I would expect that he's the one that requested that trade. I would fully expect that because I'm sure the Mets didn't want to trade him, but he saw where the organization was going, and he said, fine, if you're not going to win, then trade me. Scherzer wants to win. I get that. Layla, but he'll be good in Texas. I don't think he got backstabbed by the Mets. I think the Mets he probably wanted out, and the Mets fulfilled it. Ironically, to the very team that took Jacob deGrom away from the Mets. So now the Rangers have been successful in taking two of the Mets pitchers from 2022 away from them. Look, I'm not shedding tears over it. Honestly, Scherzer, he had a great season, or his win-loss record suggested that he had a great season. He was having a great season, but the Mets weren't. And why would he want to stay on a team that wasn't winning? If he can be successful in Texas, okay, good for him. Maybe finally Jacob deGrom will get that World Series ring. Well, now you don't have any reason to watch the Mets.
Batting fifth, the third baseman, Matt Muncy.
Sorry. More than welcome to go to the Yankees if you don't want to watch the Mets. Hey, Rangers are doing better than the Mets are right now, record-wise. Much, much better. Okay, but maybe the Rangers just needed a starting pitcher to help them turn it around.
One ball, one strike. One ball, two strikes. Ball, back inside.
Well, he's gonna fill the hole that Jacob deGrom left for them. Strike three, sit down. He may be what they need. They already have the bats. They just need the pitching. Let's see. We've got Rojas. Okay, so maybe we want to get... Sorry, Sabors. Gotta sit you down. And bring in either Wagner or Hader. One of them. Scherzer's had a good record. It's just he was in favorite Scherzer's moment. So when it has to be the first game I ever watched him pitch live, or first game I ever watched him in person, and that was last year after the All-Star break. First game against the Padres. Unfortunately, the Mets lost, but just watching that probably is my favorite. That's probably my favorite Scherzer moment. Scherzer Mets moment. I don't recall, but I remember watching him and I was like, wow. TV, they make it look so, I don't think TV does the players justice when they're pitching. No, like, wow, this guy really pitches well. Or this guy throws amazing. But unfortunately, that's kind of ruined by the fact that he gave up 4 home runs against the Boston Red Sox.
That's a ball.
Although it may have been 5, but I thought they took him out after his 4th home run.
I got a ball, 1 strike.
Oh well, I'm just going to wish him well in Texas. Hopefully he can make something out of the Rangers. Ultimately he wanted to go to a winner. Nice, Harris. Well, Met fans are, they just, like I said, that game where he gave up 4 home runs to the Red Sox, I think soured soured Mets fans' opinion of him. So, them celebrating is probably well, maybe, but he didn't do it in a Mets uniform. He didn't do it in a Mets uniform, so Met fans aren't going to boo Ohtani. They still believe that we are going to get Ohtani. And maybe in free agency we do, but I really don't see that happening. I think he wants to stay out on the West Coast. He doesn't want to come to New York. So he may be all about that money, but I don't think the money's enough, or there's enough money to convince him to come to East Coast. I suppose we'll see what happens. All right, bring in Josh Hader.
Nope, that's the ball.
A little bit of control issues with Hader, even on rookie. So,
2 balls, no strikes.
Maybe. Or that, or...
2 balls, 1 strike.
Yeah, I'm sure they will, because, after all, they did it for Michael Conforto when he was with New York. I think they did it for J.D. Martinez. Hell, they even did it for Dom Smith when the Angels were in town. Or not the Angels, the Nationals, I'm sorry. And the Rangers are going to be back in, they are going to be in New York this year. No, the Rangers this year would have been the first time that DeGrom pitched against the Mets. But obviously, because he's hurt, that's not going to happen. That being said, if he chooses to come to New York, um, if he chooses to come to New York with the team, I'm sure there'll be one for him. Scherzer, I think there will be one. But Layla, it's not happening this year. DeGrom's hurt. DeGrom is out for the rest of the season and well into 2024. So it's not going to happen until at least 2024. Okay, all right, just so you know that. Scherzer may get one, but DeGrom, too soon to tell. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. And hey, look at that. We're actually going to play on All-Star this time. How about that? How do you like them apples? Yes, DeGrom left by choice. Yeah, he entered free agency. The Rangers blew him away with their offer. He signed with them. They offered him so much money. The Mets were never gonna. The Mets. He didn't even give the Mets a chance to counteroffer, but they wouldn't have known what the counteroffer. Yeah, most likely, or even a Freeman to Dodgers kind of thing. Although DeGrom wasn't fooled by his agent that the Mets didn't give or not the DeGrom got an offer from the Mets. It's just they didn't give him as much as the Rangers did. All right, we're going to throw in Shohei. Low ball? I wouldn't say low ball, just the Rangers just offered a hell of a lot of money. No way the Mets could compete with it. And it was for 7 years. I think the Mets were only offering like 3 years. You have to look it up. I don't remember the I don't remember what the total amount was. Let me see. Five-year, $185 million contract. So 5 years, that's 37 million every year. I thought the Mets offered him like 40 million a year, but they only gave him like 3 years. Yep. And the fine thing is, Layla, he doesn't even have to play to earn that money, because he's not playing. He's earning that money. Now, also, I don't know how true this is, but I heard that so this is, Marcus, you make a great point, and this is what I was going to bring up. I heard that Sandy Alderson, or whoever it was that was GM of the Mets at the time, basically let it known that DeGrom had some kind of an injury in his arm, and DeGrom was not happy about that because that pretty much affected how much value he was going to get in free agency. So maybe he was still pissed at the Mets for making that public, but that's allegedly the story that I've heard. Again, I don't know how true it is, but that's the story that I've heard. Well, Marcus, I mean, they wanted to get the best pitcher, and they got him in Jacob deGrom. Although now Jacob is hurt, likely not going to be around until next year. So, don't think so. I don't think the Ranger fans are upset at Jacob deGrom. He can't help that. He got hurt. I agree. 5 years for Jacob deGrom. That's why I thought the Mets even offering 3 was a little much. But deGrom knew what his value was on the market. Oh well, the Rangers, it's not like it wasn't known to the Rangers. He's had injury problems. It's been well documented. So the Rangers got exactly what they got. An injury-prone Jacob deGrom, who is likely not going to be ready until next season. Yep, they just took the risk. That's the best way I can describe it. They took the risk, and I guess they paid for it. Strike 3, sit down.
Nope.
No, Ohtani wants $50 million a year. Ohtani's about to become the highest paid player in all of MLB history. Hell, he's gonna be the first $50 million per year player in MLB.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
Because some team is going to be foolish enough to be able to offer him that contract. Yep.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for the Dynasty. Number 55.
And it could be the Mets. It could be. But I know personally that he is 30 years old, or he's going to be 30 years old next year. So I would not want him any more than 5 years. So if he wants that, because they just traded away Scherzer and eat up, half of his salary this year. So they just basically saved themselves on that money. Verlander, they're trying to trade him away. So probably another situation where next year they won't even have to pay his salary. And plus, Cohen is an owner who just doesn't give a damn, Layla. He's willing to spend whatever he needs to get top players. Unfortunately, those top players don't end up working out. I mean, he gave Lindor like over 37 or what was it, $38 million a year. So Cohen he's a billionaire. He's owned all kinds of financial trades and basically stock market stuff. So he's made his fortune based on that. I mean, he did lose over $300 million last year, but here's the thing, Layla. In the U.S., you can write off any losses that you have, any financials losses, as a tax write-off. So essentially, even though Cohen lost money with the Mets, he can go to the U.S. government and say, I lost this amount of money with the Mets. Here's my tax write-off. Think of it as like a Donald Trump as kind of rigging the system. Now, I'm not saying that Cohen is like Trump or anything like that. I'm just saying that's how these billionaires, the Bill Gates, the who's the Amazon owner? Jeff Bezos. That's how they work this system. Thank you. Yeah, Jeff Bezos. Elon Musk, yeah. That's basically how they all do this. They write off all their company losses as tax write-offs, and then they get even more money from the U.S. government, which is essentially taxes that someone like myself pays. So my money, my taxpayer money, is going to these owners, these billionaires.
Number 37, Kevin.
Let me see. I think we'll go lefty for this one. We'll bring in Taylor Rogers, and we'll also warm up Peter. Yep, exactly, Layla, because someone like Bernie Sanders, who was very prominent in 2016, basically said, hey, these billionaires are taking all this tax money. You're having to foot the bill. Why is that fair to you? Yep, that's exactly right. That's why you see someone like Biden being like, it's time for the billionaires to pay their fair share. Yep. That's, you know. Now, billionaires are, they could be more for one party or another, but there are billionaires that support basically the same.
Got him.
He's trying. It's very difficult, especially with one half of Congress is controlled by the other party that is trying not to implement his policies. Yeah, in America, you know, our whole system, you know.
Your attention, please. Now,
I don't. Yeah, it's not perfect. It's not perfect, and people do take advantage. But that's the system we have. And believe me, someone like Bernie Sanders is not going to reform the system. He's not. I don't care how many times he goes out there and says, these billionaires are taking money from you. We need to tax these oligarchs. Yeah, good luck, Bernie. Because in 2016, what you have to remember is that not only did the Democrats lose the presidency, they also lost the Senate. Well, they had already lost the Senate and House of Representatives. They already lost it. So even, let's say Bernie beats Hillary Clinton in 2016 and then beats Donald Trump in 2016 to become president. Now he's dealing with a Republican-controlled Congress that in all likelihood was not going to do what he wanted to get done. She would have been, yes. But that's not how 2016 worked out. Just like Barack Obama was the first black president that we've had. Hey, look at that. We beat Arizona. AOC is too young. She's still in her, I think she's either in her late 20s or early 30s. You have to be 35 in order to run for president. Because people on Capitol Hill are in their 50s and 60s, and this was a problem that John F. Kennedy Jr. John F. Kennedy ran into when he became president. You know, he had all these grand ideas about what he wanted to do for the presidency. The problem is that people in Congress were much older than he was. He was 40 at the time, and they were probably 50 or 60, and they didn't want a 40-year-old telling them how they should run the country. So that would be a very similar problem that someone like AOC would go up against. Also, the fact that she's much like Bernie Sanders, very far left. of the political spectrum in the U.S. So good luck getting all the Republicans to even support something from her. Not to mention, all the Democrats too, because unfortunately, you also have Democrats who are not far left. I'm sorry, not unfortunately, but you have Democrats. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is. Okay, and they're in states where it's pretty much purple. And what I mean by purple is that they basically it's a mix between Democrats and Republicans, and I think a lot of people in those states, as well as throughout the country, want someone who's more bipartisan. Someone who's going to reach across the aisle and actually work with the others in the party to get legislation done. I think that's what a majority of Americans support. Exactly. And I think that's what Biden's appeal was, hey, I've been a lifelong moderate Democrat. I've worked in the Senate for a long time. And the Senate, here's the thing about the Senate, Layla. We have something called the filibuster in it. And basically what that means is that any lawmaker can invoke this filibuster and basically pause any legislation. Because their perception, Republicans' perception, is that he is not middle of the road. He is far left, and I mean he has implemented some policies that give them reason to believe he's far left. Crumble cookies? I don't know what those are. So, and personally, I think this goes back to when he was running against Bernie in the Democratic primary, because Bernie was basically appealing to the younger people. Biden appealed more to the older generation, but the younger generation, like myself, he didn't appeal to people that I knew. Well, I'm just trying to explain U.S. politics to Layla, because Layla doesn't live in the U.S. Layla lives in France, so their political system might be different than what we have here in the U.S. So I'm trying to explain the politics, because the news, I work in the news media, so I see this a bunch. I'm constantly working in politics. So, when Biden and Sanders were running, Biden had this problem of not getting the support that Bernie Sanders was getting. And there was concern that Bernie may upset Joe and been the 2020 Democratic presidential nominee. So I think there was a deal done between Sanders and Biden where Biden would implement what Sanders wants to implement, but in exchange, he can have the nomination for president in 2020. So basically, deal making that happens a lot in politics. And Joe Biden, I've always received the perception that far right is evil on social media. Is that bias? Is there benefits for both sides? Okay, so this is why I tend to stay off of social media, although Elon Musk is trying to make it. But basically, social media, there are a lot of far left people that are very active in basically saying far right. To an extent, far right, is consistent of neo-Nazis. Neo-Nazis, if you think about those people that were marching in South Carolina back in 2017, Unite the Right rally, it was called. You're close to co-op? Okay, cool. And basically that, yeah, a lot of, I would say, Democrat-leaning people are on Twitter. If you want more far-right stuff, then you would go onto a network like Truth Social. That's where Donald Trump is.
Nope, that's off the plate. Ball 2.
Yes, I will say though that the far left have tried to, like, okay, so the Black Lives Matter protests that occurred in 2020. That was a product of the far left. Now, some of them were not. Some of them, right? Some of them were, genuinely like all about improving Black lives and getting justice and all that. But as you got to nighttime, that's where it became more of a riot rather than a protest. And that's what that's what Republicans would like you to believe the Black Lives Matter and their protests are. They're not all like that, but yeah. Basically, Black Lives Matter, you can assume is part of the left. Because I have yet to see any kind of contributions that they've made to Republicans. So,
0-1's the count.
yep, exactly. They'll go on Fox News. In fact, in 2020, this is what a lot of them did. They went on to Fox News, all those far-right and all those right-leaning companies, and said, look at these look at these rioters. This is an egregious, they're trying to, if they get their way by taking away law enforcement, then this is what we're going to end up with. Hence why it's become Black Lives Matter versus police. Got him! The purpose of yep. Now, I'm not saying all Republicans are like that, no. Because some Republicans actually did partake in Black Lives Matter protests. Like, I think Mitt Romney supported it. He was seen protesting with Black Lives Matter or marching during one of the protests. So not all Republicans are like that, but the ones that you're going to see on like Fox News or Newsmax, yeah, they're the ones that are going to be taking these images and they're going to be saying, this is Black Lives Matter, this is the way it's going to be if we don't support law enforcement. No. I would not say that, Marcus, because Democrats have their own issues too. Like, this whole idea of some branches of the Black Lives Matter movement, or, some of them wanted to eliminate police completely, and I really don't support that. I support for reforming police to make community relations better, but I do not support eliminating it. Right, Layla. Yeah, so there are two parties in the U.S. political system, or two main parties. You have Democrats, which is Biden, Bernie Sanders. Well, Bernie is Democrat-leaning, but he's an independent. But yeah, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Chuck Schumer, Kanye. Yeah, definitely the rights. Those are the Republicans. Those are Donald Trump, Governor Ron DeSantis, Chris Christie, Rick Scott, Tim Scott. Those are the two main parties. They're not the only parties, but they're the two main ones. Hillary Clinton is Democrat. She's Democrat, much like her husband Bill, who was president. To say more, she's been out of politics since the end of the Biden administration, or I'm sorry, the end of the Obama administration. After she lost the election, she's just been more of a speaker than she has been of a. Yes, Mitt Romney is a Republican. He ran against Obama in 2012 for that presidential election. Right now he's a Utah senator. Yes, Obama was a Democrat. Yes. Viral tweets when. Oh. Oh, I don't know which one that was. That's possible. I mean, I don't know what she's referring to. Maybe she's still referring to the Afghanistan war that was going on under Obama. I mean, the Afghan war was not started by Obama, but he didn't necessarily end it either. And even when it was ended, it was rather messy. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where that came from myself. That's rather strange, but I mean, feel free to inquire about it. Ask her what she meant by calling him a war criminal. Because I don't want to interpret anyone's tweets from social media. Because I have no idea what they mean. It might have been the Afghan war. Who's to say? It could have been something else. I don't know. I really don't know of any other war that was going on involving the U.S. at the time that Obama was president. I mean, there's also the Yemen civil war, but I don't know too much about that. And also, like, that really didn't involve the U.S. to an extent. Strike 3, sit down. So, I don't know what was up with all that personally, but, you know, it might be better just to ask her yourself. What do you mean by war criminal?
Your attention, please. Now,
yeah, of course. Politics in the U.S. is very, it's very complicated. You know, but I can boil it down to two main parties working the U.S. government, and this is what they're for. Hold on. Okay, so we need Josh Hader. And I gotta be careful when I talk about politics too, because I don't want to upset the company that I work for. You know, or feel like that I'm teaching something wrong when I don't believe I am. After all, I've been involved in news media since 2017, so I've seen politics a lot. Yeah, 2017 was my first internship with this company that I work for now. And
That's a ball. Ball one.
so but it was only for like a couple months. Yes. Yes, I'm actually glad that you brought that up because, yes, there are political courses in like colleges and universities. I don't think they might teach it in high school, but I never saw it, at least with my high school. If anything, it was more U.S. history than it was politics. But yes, there is potential bias in political courses at universities and colleges. In fact, one professor that I had, he writes for the Washington Post, and he is a Democrat. He's a Democrat. He sends. I don't know why he keeps doing this because I haven't spoken to him for a long time. But he keeps sending me articles that he writes in the Post about climate change, Black Lives Matter, all this stuff. And it's like, dude, I don't care. First of all, Washington Post is behind a paywall. So if I were to even read one of his articles, I would have to pay for a Washington Post subscription, which I really don't want to do. But that's how like the Washington Post, the New York Times, that's how they get you. The Wall Street Journal, they're all behind a paywall. Even Reuters is behind a paywall, but they give you 5 free articles, and that's it. No, I agree, Layla, but the problem is the news industry needs to make money. And for newspapers, they no longer make it by people buying their newspapers anymore, because everything you would just get. Yeah, ads are certainly the way that they do it now. Yes, but they also do it by putting up these paywalls on the internet. That's how they make their money too. Think of it as like a Netflix account, really. You buy it because you want to watch a show or whatever. Then when you get bored of it, you stop watching, but you don't cancel the subscription. So they keep charging you every month until you finally cancel it. That's basically what news does now. I wouldn't say it's, well, no, the main form is ads. The main form is ads, but the subs are also a big portion of it too. So what I recommend, Layla, is I recommend the Associated Press. I can tell you that at my company, that's what we rely on for all our sources, for any stories that we report on or anything like that. We go to the Associated Press, and they're free, and there's not much bias from the AP. I would say that the AP is really down the middle, tell you all the facts, and then you can make your own determinations on that. So the AP is what I highly recommend. Let's see. Exactly. AP is the source that I would rely on for. Oh, if I want to get more information about an article, but I don't want all the political bias in it, I go to the AP. It's international. It's a news agency that is international. You know, I think it's mostly based in the U.S., but they cover a lot of international stories too. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to think like. I'm assuming I had my day off today, so I don't know what's going on that's in France, but you could definitely look up France and see if they're covering what they're covering, because they definitely cover stories in France. I think this is more of a left-righty thing. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, no, I think I know what you're talking about. This is the Syrian national, right? That was unarmed and the police shot him? French police? Yeah, I've heard about this. We were reporting on this. Unfortunately, we really haven't given it much. Nahel Merzouk? But yeah, basically, yeah, I can tell you that I can confirm for you that AP definitely has articles on those protests. What's up, Landon? CJ, what's up? Well, I'll tell you what, CJ, it has actually been going all right. In fact, as you can see here, I've made it all the way through the NL West, and I just got the Cardinals stronghold. So far it's all right. You know, in terms of the program itself, I'm at 11, so I haven't gotten to Marte yet. But if I do this program correctly, then I should, by the time I'm done with the map, I'll have Billy Wagner. The moments ultimately trip me up. Hey Landon, do you want to do your game now? Because I know on Friday we didn't get a chance, and Saturday and Sunday there were no streams, so I figured I'd ask now. Otherwise, I go back to grinding the Conquest map. Okay. All right, Landon. Well, I will let you know that I do plan on getting off at 9 o'clock, so is that enough time for you? If I do a couple games, it's probably going to take me, at least to 8:30. Well, I can wait 5 to 10 minutes. Who knows? Maybe I'll do a couple extreme moments while I'm waiting on you. Let me think. Hopefully playing on the Hall of Fame against the Rockies, the Giants, the Padres, and the Dodgers tuned me enough that I can hit home runs against How do I feel about the Scherzer trade? Bye. I'm not shedding any tears. I knew the Mets were selling. I knew that they were selling. So I will say that I was shocked to learn that Scherzer was gone. But at the same time, I'm not surprised either. And the way that I was able to hit the home runs was aiming low, so just gotta keep doing that, I suppose. Nah, that's gonna get caught. I mean, look, you know, the fact that we're only... I don't know what the... In terms of salary, how much we're covering. I'm sure it's more than half, but... Honestly, if more than half is the worst that we have to pay for Scherzer to be off so that we can save a little bit of money, then... I'm not going to complain. Well, I did struggle early on. Like, I did fall to the Rockies, my first attempt. I did fall to them, and then they took over my stronghold. What's up, Marcus? Wow, everyone's coming in today. Nice. How you doing, Marcus? I can't complain. Just taking a little bit of a break from the How do you know that, CJ? How do you know I'm not already insane as it is? How do you know I'm not already there? I will say it is nerve-wracking. I mean, the Rockies thing, that was the least of my troubles. I had to go into two extra innings against the Padres just to win that game. All right. Well, you already know I'm trying this. Lord God help me. Just let me know when you're ready and I'll hop out of this moment. Honestly, I don't think I'm going to complete it. If I complete it, Lord God bless me. Although I will say, it definitely has impacted me in terms of playing on lower difficulties. Like, as an example, you know how I would normally score like 20, 30, 40 runs on the CPU if I was playing on rookie and everything? Today, one game, I barely got past, I didn't even get past 10. Because this game, with doing all these moments and everything, has me searching has me searching for these fast pitches. Alright, I'll hop out now. So just give me 1 second. That moment's good. What the heck? Why did it just kick me back to the freaking main menu? Alright, whatever. When you're ready, Landon, go ahead and send me the invite. There you are. Let's do it. And then I'll pick up my progress with the Conquest Map tomorrow. I definitely want Wright and Ruth. So I actually stream off of my console, Marcus. I tried streaming off of a PC earlier, and it worked for like one stream. Yeah, unfortunately, the internet at my house does not support me streaming from a PC. Otherwise, I would have great. I had like great alerts and everything for whenever new people streamed. It would be a far better layout than what I have right now. So, believe me, I want to, but my internet speed is not fast enough for me to be able to do that. I'm going to have to invest in my own, I'll have to invest in my own internet someday, you know, in order to be able to stream off of a PC. Hey, don't forget Jock Peterson. Jock Peterson is lethal. Not to mention Ruth, David Wright, and Will Smith, too. Oh, this is a deadly lineup. Wait, why are you putting Peterson so low? You don't like Peterson? Okay, I see. Yes, Marcus, this is co-op. I'm doing it with Landon because he requested it. All right, Matt Cain. He requested it on Friday, but I was still doing the moments at the time, so I didn't end up getting to it. So now this is me kind of paying him back, or
Leading me for the All-Star, the shortstop, Trey Turner.
or fulfilling his request. And it's available for everyone. So if you want to play a game, you know, just redeem it.
0-2. Ball 1.
Gotcha. You can also make me talk in a southern accent if you want to save up for that too. And it's funnier than hell. I know I didn't say that with a southern accent, but I figured I'd save it.
0-1.
So that's up to you too. Whatever you want to do. Ultimately, it's just a channel reward, so it's available for anyone who wants to redeem it. Much like the play 380. Okay, well, yeah, it's like 2,000, and well, the play against me or play with me is 2,000. The Southern accent thing, what is that? That's 4,000, I want to say?
Ball inside.
Yeah, 4,000. But honestly, I play with or against me is probably the two that get redeemed the most.
There you go.
Get there. Nice. Jock Peterson had to hustle to get to that one. At least he got there. Damn, Landon. I don't know how you completed it so quickly. Y'all, you're really going to make this guy shiver in his... you're making him nervous, I believe. The fact that they got to go up against, Griffey. Griffey's like, I would argue, probably the best card in the game. It's all right. I've heard nothing but good things about Marte, so let's see how I do with him. Yeah. Let's go. Oh, nope. No. Go back. Ooh, I knew it. Oh, go. Like, I'm freaking controlling the base runner. Why am I telling myself to go? Go. Silas, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. How you doing tonight? Thank you for coming in. Hopefully my David Wright card is still good.
0-1.
Ah, my bad. Yeah, I noticed, Landon, that when I was playing on like rookie and everything, when I was doing play versus CPU, oh my god, I could not hit. I could not hit on rookie. I scored maybe like 8 runs against the Rockies. Yeah, it's all because of this extreme program, because I'm so used to trying to hit everything like everything quickly, or that it's messing with my mind. So all the stuff that's off or all the stuff that's slower on the lower difficulties, it really messes you up.
Ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Ball, that's in.
They have too much. They have too good of a look. There we go.
3-2.
Strike 3, sit down. That he is.
The right fielder, Luis Robert.
Got it. The bat went freaking farther than the ball.
Leading off for Alaska, the left fielder, Josh Peterson.
Landon for sure. Layla definitely comes in a lot. Fairly recently, but dang, why am I forgetting his name? It's been a while. Phillies fan comes in here he's come in here a lot. Brennan, thank you. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's been a hard weekend. You know, working a double shift made me forget a lot. Thank you. But Brendan, yes, he's been in here a lot. Oh, that's my bad.
He's out.
If they, I want to say also the Show Bros comes in from time to time. Darian definitely comes in. Darian Howard comes in from time to time. Not all of them. Not all. I don't think Layla is a mod. Yeah, Layla's not a mod. The Show Bros, I don't believe they're mods. Landon, usually you'll be able to tell by the little sword next to their names. Landon is a mod. Brendan is not a mod. No, he is not a mod either. Darian Howard is not a mod. Strike three, sit down. Attaboy, Landon. No, I think I have a few more mods, but I think Landon is the one that has shown up the most recently.
The first baseman,
Yes, money. Fortunately, with 16 speed, it's not enough. That was a perfect, too. There you go. Yeah, I'm going. Unfortunately, dang it. Dang. The one time you don't want the ground rule double. Because that would have driven in Yasmani.
I got 1 ball, 1 strike.
That I do not know. That's up to them. You know, they can tune in and then leave the stream on and then go do something else. That's totally up to them. I don't have a requirement that says you must be active in my stream in order to be in it. Twitch wouldn't allow me to instill that requirement. I can't believe we better not. No, we didn't. Thank you. My bad. I can't believe we got runners in scoring position yet didn't drive them in. That's on me. You know, I had two opportunities there with Griffey and
0-1.
Griffey and Ruth, and I couldn't get it done with either one of them. I don't know. Landon, what's your team? Marcus is interested. Strike 3. Sit down. Oh, just watch baseball? Oh, okay. Is there one that you've been watching a lot recently, like, or is it just kind of whatever tickles your fancy? Well, whatever. Okay. All right. No, I was just curious. Well, I don't know. I don't know if Brennan is a toxic Phillies fan. I know he's a Phillies fan. My bad. I tried to get that. Lower, thinking he wasn't gonna get it, or they weren't gonna get it.
Ball inside.
Nah, Reeser never came back. From what Brennan told me, he doesn't want to come back.
Ball, that's inside.
Well, Landon just pointed out that he was crapping on the Orioles. And yeah, he's came in here and he's posted lyrics, beat the Mets, step right up and beat the Mets. You know, basically making fun of the song for them. I'm sorry. I lost that battle because he was battling me. I couldn't get anything past him.
The center fielder, number 7.
Colin. Okay. I mean, peanut butter on a sandwich is pretty good. Mayonnaise, I'm not really that big of a fan of personally.
No ball, 2 strikes.
It is Meet the Mets, but he changed it. He changed the lyrics to it to make it sound like Beat the Mets. And that's my bad on, well, actually, that's the game. The game freaking with that wall that they call pitcher.
No ball, 2 strikes.
Well, it's all good, Marcus. If he wants to say that, that's fine. Say it. I for one enjoy peanut butter too. It's delicious on a sandwich. Yeah, he did. I think he's played a couple times. One where we won. Okay, so people can do that. I can't stop them from typing whatever they want. You know, it's just on me to... It's all good. It's all good. I've got control of Peterson, so hopefully it'll be a good good at bat.
Ball.
I think the thing is we got to be patient, Landon. We have to be patient. These guys are throwing pitches in the dirt, and we're chasing.
One ball.
Wow, I'm
2 strikes.
chasing. Hey, I need to stop.
Now batting, catcher.
Dang it. I thought I was going to have a good at-bat with Peterson there. I guess not. Come on, get out of here. Oh! Man, died at the warning track. Man, that stinks. Alright, I'm pitching now, right? Oh no, you're pitching, Landon. I pitched the last inning. Where are we, 5th?
He's out.
Yeah, certainly. I think the Showbros has played co-op with me. Sounds like you're getting close to playing co-op with me.
Oh, 2 is the count.
Oh, one of my streamer friends, he doesn't stream anymore, but JTag played co-op with me in the past. It was only like once or twice, so it's not like we did it for much, but JTag and I have definitely played a co-op game.
1-1. Ball, that's not one.
Now batting, third baseman, Miguel. And defense.
Well, I trust that Landon is gonna mod my stream fairly. As for Brendan, he just started coming in. And when he first came in, he was causing some problems. I mean, lately he's picked it up, or he's made it better, but, well, Layla, I mean, if they want to, I'll definitely consider it.
Leading off for Alaska, the shortstop, Francisco.
Layla, I think, is a good mod, or would be a good mod.
0-1.
But I trust that Landon also does a good job. O-Town? Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Maybe I did make... I think I did make O-Town a mod. Or if I haven't, then, you know, then I better. Because he's definitely one that I would... He hasn't been in for a while, O-Town. I don't know if he's busy with something, but he hasn't been for a while. He's actually he's actually someone that I actually have met. O-Town? Yeah. At least through May and June, he tuned in a lot. And I met him at a Mets game once.
Nope, outside.
He's like one of the few people that actually, I think he's the only person I've met in person that's been part of my streams. That's gone! That's gone! Let's go, Joey Gallo! O-Town? That I'm not sure. Forget it. I was trying to do some emojis, but not happening. O-Town? I'm not sure. I know he's definitely around my age. Oh, that's Griffey power for you, baby. That's Griffey power. Oh, believe me, that's why I want him. Griffey right there makes the program worth the grind. I do have to do the event, though. Wow, after three runs, they're already switching.
All ones the count.
All right.
Nope.
Ah, my bad.
Out.
The right fielder, number 3, Babe Ruth.
Ooh,
0-1.
you were ready for that one.
No ball, 2 strikes.
I don't think so, no. They're either, the toxic people have either been banned or they've actually cleaned up their act to the point where I didn't have to ban them. Which I appreciate because ultimately I don't want toxic people in here. I don't. I want us to have a good time. That being said, if toxic people come in here and if they at least improve themselves, then I won't ban them. I'll give them a chance. I don't know, Landon. Has anyone disrespected you before? At least in chat? Okay, so then there's your answer. I mean, someone did actually disrespect me. Gotta watch that Henderson speed. Gotta watch it. Yeah.
Runner, yes. 0-1.
Offline. What did he do to you? So he actually threatened me. Specifically, what he told me was because he redeemed the play against me when I was streaming MLB The Show 21. I was streaming it. He redeemed it. And I was like, okay, I'm in the middle of a showdown. Do you think you can, like, give me a few minutes to, finish the showdown and then we'll play? And he basically got angry at that to the point where he said, I have an M1 or either an MI6 or an M16. And told me not to mess with him. And I looked it up. That was a gun. So I was like, immediately, bam. Yep. And the thing was, like, I gave him so many chances. I've given him chances. Like, even when he was causing problems with my viewers, when I was streaming MLB 21, I held back on banning him. I timed him out, but I didn't ban him. And then he started causing problems with me, and then I timed him out again. Then he was close to using the N-word in the chat. He came close on several occasions, which I will tell you right now, I do not tolerate that. I do not tolerate using any kind of racial slurs in my chat. So anyone that does is going to get banned. Yep. So I banned him, and then the gun just pretty much sealed it. He made another account, which I was willing to let go as long as he behaved himself, and he didn't. So, yep, that's like, I give people a lot of chances. I really do. I think I'm being fair. Oh, CJ's in my streams a lot too. I forgot about CJ. Yeah, an alternative count. I gave him plenty of opportunities. And once he threatened me, that was the end of the line. He's lucky I actually didn't call the police. I reported it to Twitch. I don't know what happened from there on out, but I think I've seen him in several chats in MLB The Show streams here on Twitch, so, you know, so I just don't hear top 3 viewers. So Landon, definitely up there. Layla's up there. Paula! No, you were right. You were right. Although, to be fair, Paula, I'm not, though I'm shocked it happened, when it happened, I'm not surprised that it did happen. So, yep, you were right, Paula. So Landon, Layla, CJ, definitely. O-Town for a while, although, again, he hasn't been here. He hasn't been here lately, but O-Town used to show up a lot in my streams. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me either. Just hate it too, like. And Verlander's getting good. Like, he's actually pitching like he was supposed to at the beginning of the season. Now. So I would say those are my top 3. Landon, Layla, CJ. My bad. My bad. I should have let that one go. For once, Yasmani is not Yasmani. Alright, can I do anything? Who's subbed? So, Brennan and his friend. Those are the only 2 subs that I currently have. Guardians they're gonna give away. Really? What? I thought they were gonna make. What happened to the Guardians? They just had bad luck with injuries? Ah. No, Reeser did not sub. No, it wasn't Reeser. Let me see if I can get to my creator dashboard here, and that'll tell me who subbed. Brennan is definitely. I think he said that Reeser is his brother. So it actually says I have 3 subs. Oh, I'm sorry. Passe. Wow.
Oh, and 2.
Strike 3, sit down. Trying to see here, lots of...
The third baseman, Miguel Andujar.
I'm Alan HD has subbed. It was Alan. I'm Alan HD who subbed. As did Brennan. Landon has never subbed. That's all right. I don't ask for people to sub. If you are enjoying my content, I just hope that you enjoy it. That's all. Oh, you did sub. Okay, you subbed for 1 month. Okay, I'm sorry, I don't remember it. But thank you for subbing.
Oh, and 1.
The green, that's to show that he's a mod.
Ricky Henderson.
Ball in. Hey. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ball, that's down.
Well, certainly you've tuned in a lot. Brennan has tuned in a lot. But recently, not really. It's a lot of the same people who have been in my streams for a while now. And I appreciate the support. Strike 3, sit down. Get your bunchies out of here.
Oh, 1's the count. No ball, 2 strikes.
Well, then there you go. You got this. You got it. Let's go.
Leading off for the A's, the second baseman, Ketel Marquez.
Oh, that's good.
All right, come on, Ruth. We need some extra runs. Ah, that's not extra runs. Although he could beat that out. Let's go. 60 speed somehow beats that out. Let's go.
He's out. No, he's safe.
Okay.
The lefty, number 31.
Yeah, I don't know what Cal Ripken's price is, but yeah, good luck with it. If you want to add him, he's a solid hitter.
1 ball, 1 strike.
It's crazy high. Was he was part of the home run thing, right? Home run flashback. He was 95 captain. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense then. I'm sorry. It's over 200K. Oh, that's not too bad. I mean, that's practically all my stubs right there.
No, he's in there.
Oh! Dang it!
Second baseman, Ketel Marquez.
Just get ready in case they try to steal. It's 96 feet. That's... I don't know. Whoever wants Cal Ripken on their team. Getting a very solid hitter. Strike 3, sit down. I mean, does durability really do much in this game?
No ball, 2 strikes.
At least in Diamond Dynasty? I'm kind of inclined to say no. Alright, close it out. Close it out, Landon. You got this. Oh, yeah, and you were asking earlier, strike 3, sit down, about GG's. Yep, GG's. Marcus, you were asking earlier about if I eat dinner before or after. This, generally speaking, I tend to get, it's after. Oh, there you go, Landon. You just got up into 700s. Nice. Ooh. Oh boy. Oh boy, guys. Gonna have another choice here. Come on. Give me that chase pack. I want that chase pack. Dang! Just my luck. Alright, well, thank you, Landon. That was a fun game. And then... yeah, I'll save these. Well, actually, I can open these up. Because they'll just give me random packs. $250? Alright. I'm going to save those for another time, though, because now it's 9 o'clock and it's time for me to go eat some dinner. But generally speaking, Marcus, I like to eat dinner, or I eat dinner afterwards. But preferably, I'd like it before, but, you know, I stream at 6, so it's kind of like whenever dinner is ready. No, Marcus, I gotta save it for another day. So thank you to everyone who tuned in, even if it was only for a moment. I greatly appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, please be sure to follow me here on Twitch and or subscribe. Either one would make me a very happy person. If you're watching this on YouTube, I thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you liked the video and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to know when I go live, you can follow me on Twitter at TTVNextJGGen24. It's in the upper left there, so go give me a follow on Twitter. I'll always tweet whenever I go live. You can also turn on notifications here on Twitch. That way Twitch sends you an email every time I start up a stream. So overall, great progress was made. I'll be honest, I was not expecting to even complete one of the goals for the extreme map. But now that I have, I'm pretty excited. So I will pick up where I left off tomorrow with the Conquest Map. I think I'll be able to do the Cubs, and there should be like 1 or 2 more after that, and then we'll see how much further we get along with that. So I hope you'll tune in tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern, and until then, guys, have a good night.